expect to see you all tomorrow. Go Bears!
We killed it, honestly, especially this year with the seniors. I mean, the juniors followed up too, but it was definitely the best that I've seen at the high school.
I think that this year we definitely stepped it up with school spirit, and it started with our class, the seniors, for sure.
I think a lot of school spirit derives from the senior class, not just because our senior class is amazing, but because of a lot of senior classes, it really comes from the senior class. They set the tone. So I think our school spirit's pretty strong and comes from being Bears.
But what does it really mean to be a bear? Wikipedia has bears classified as caniforms or dog-like carnivorians, but this list goes on and on. But in the town of Stonington, these are bears. They are the everyday student you'll see walking through the halls or standing up in the stands cheering for a football game.
Classic October football game. Definitely the tailgate, those are probably the best thing. And then right from the tailgate, going to the game, having fun with friends, meeting new people, and just going out after to Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that.
Noah and I running the tailgates, awesome. I mean, you could just smell the burgers and the hot dogs in the air, all the seniors and sometimes juniors crowded around. It's pretty awesome. And then just the whole atmosphere of the entire student section getting into it and standing up and cheering it was awesome. I mean, basically every game, even on some away games, you had a giant Stonington student section cheering on the team.
Awesome to watch our school all come together under the lights on Fridays and just cheer for the same cause and be a class. We all stood on the bleachers together, even though we had our senior sections and stuff like that. We all still had a student section, and we cheered. Noah started the chants. We were all together, and it was an awesome experience, and the snacks were good.
Definitely Turkey Day.
Probably have to go with the Turkey Day game.
I mean, it's cliche, but it's got to be the Thanksgiving Day game because we literally packed those stands and everybody was off their feet doing the chants. It was awesome.
The rally, the color war,
Fighting people on Twitter. And then when the day actually comes, everyone's so hyped and you get there and it's just such an exciting thing. And of course, we crushed West Shirley. So
20
awesome.
years in a row.
Yeah.
Eat the dogs.
Stress.
It's pretty intense, knowing that the next 4 years of my life would be decided by what was written on a couple pieces of paper.
It wasn't that bad at the start. At first I only had to write when I was applying early decision, I only had to write the Common Up essay and maybe one specific essay. Paperwork wasn't that bad, but as soon as I got into the regular decision time, especially over winter break, I mean, I was getting to the point where I was writing an essay or two per day in order to fill out all these applications, and it was really it was definitely tedious.
I think the process of getting the SATs done, and it's a process that goes from all 4 years, and you may not know it as a freshman, but it begins the very first day you come in through these doors. You got to start building the resume right away, so getting involved in everything, it's a process, but in the end, it's all worth it.
I think at times it was stressful because if you were doing early decision or something and you had to get it all done, and it definitely could be stressful with all the schoolwork and everything.
And SATs, that's just no fun, especially if you have to take them more than once.
Yeah, that's awful.
ACT and SAT, I don't really believe in them. I think they're kind of bad tests because there's a lot more to a person than just how they can answer standardized test questions. I'm not a very good test taker, so I didn't do great on those tests just because I get kind of stressed out in those situations. So it was stressful, and I think they need to kind of be changed a little bit.
There's a lot that has to go into it. There's a lot of trying to get everything together, trying to get yourself organized in a short amount of time just to impress a few schools that you want to go to next year. So
The SAT is expensive, time-consuming, and nerve-wracking. In 2006, 1.5 million students in the U.S. took the SAT, and schools give more weight to the results of one test than they do to a 4-year GPA a resume loaded with awards, outside activities, and community service.
Like, if you make the most of your high school career and you try hard in school and you participate in a bunch of school activities, you're gonna get into a good college and you're gonna do well in your future, and you made the most out of high school at the same time. So.
I was always told that this is our year of lasts, our last Turkey Day game, our last reindeer games, our last time all being together.
Bittersweet, bitter, knowing that probably won't see most of these kids that I went to school with for the last 12, 13 years ever again.
But sweet because we actually get to become our own person and stop having our hands held by everyone. It's going to be an experience, definitely.
In the last assembly when they're like, this is it, this is last month, enjoy it, be kids. And ever since they said that, it's definitely sad. We've been with each other for 12 years, and now we're all going our separate ways, so it's exciting. But
Some people it'll be kind of a shame not to see us much. So it's been an interesting 4 years, and so I say it's definitely bittersweet. There are some things I'll miss, some things I won't.
You're never going to actually come back and be a high schooler again, which may seem great at first, but is actually something that you'll miss.
We just have had such an amazing time in high school, and I really truly think that we're one of the best classes. We have so much money for a cool prom and an awesome class gift and all this stuff, and we've just worked so hard and had so much fun, and it's just been an awesome high school career.
What will you miss most about our class?
Probably sports. I'll miss sports a lot. Playing football for 3 years, playing lacrosse for 7 or 8. Being able to come out and play every day with a group of friends, that's what I'm going to miss most.
My friends and coming here and it being a familiar place and all being here together.
I feel like I've just had so much fun with the people in our class, even the ones who are in my really close friend group, and everyone. I don't know, I think I'm just going to miss the people the most.
I think the memories of becoming closer with one another, and actually, I'm sure I'm not going to see half the kids ever again after this, so I think just seeing their faces every single day and getting to know people is what I'm going to miss the most.
I mean, I know you said about the class, but it's got to be the class, the people in it. I mean, I probably won't miss most of the classes that I'm taking, but I'll definitely miss taking those classes with people I know. A lot of these people, like I mentioned before, I'm not going to see again, so it's definitely something that even the kids who I may not be the greatest friends with, it's definitely something that I will miss when I leave here.
I don't know. I'd probably, in some cases, I get too stressed out about things, so I'd probably relax a little bit.
Do differently.
I would do things for myself rather than others, I think. Always wanted to do what people thought was right, what they wanted, and I never took my personal opinion into matters, so I think I would do things for myself.
I wish I got to know more upperclassmen in my freshman and sophomore year.
I would probably try harder. I kind of just floated on through, made my way through. I'd probably come to school more because I didn't really come. I'd probably go to more athletic events too.
Yeah, I guess maybe the one thing I could think of is being even more involved. I'm already pretty involved in school, but I probably could have done more too. I think this year I definitely did more, but freshman and sophomore year.
Everybody says looking back on things when they were younger, oh, I wish I was more outgoing or something like that. Even when you may not have been not outgoing, if that makes any sense. But I don't know. Just from looking back, maybe not on this year, but from my entire high school year in general, I feel like I've sort of become slowly but surely more outgoing, but I feel like I would have been better off if from the start I was just more outgoing towards other people I didn't know.
Would have sat with the bros a lot earlier.
I plan to have studied abroad through the years, and I think I plan to be working in a place, not just the United States and not Snowington, but somewhere farther away and expanding my circle of knowledge and everything, and hopefully helping people and benefiting other people's lives.
See myself hopefully doing something that I love to do. I don't know what that is. There's no way I can possibly predict what that's going to be, but
I don't care if I'm where I am. I want to be with people that like make me laugh and that I love.
And doing something that I love.
With people I love.
10 years, I hope to be working in either New York City or Philadelphia in the financial district.
Hopefully I have a job in physical therapy, which I love. And hopefully I'm happy, because that's kind of the most important thing. I hope I'm making the most out of life, and I have good friends, and I'm surrounded by good people, and I'm just living life.
Class of 2015, it's been a good 12, 13 years. I'm glad to have shared these halls with you, and good luck in the future.
It's definitely been real. I'm going to miss you all.
this one's easy. Eat the dogs and go Bears.
Go Bears.
Time to leave behind the things you couldn't get to me, and now it's time to breathe out a thanks for the memories. Man, I gotta make sure this one's turning gold, cause this one's one for the road. And so I'm singing loud, I gotta leave behind the things you never said to me. Now it's time to scream out a thanks for the memories. There'll be nothing like you at the place where I go, so this one's a toast to the road.